close your eyes, not to escape the world, but to enter the only world that truly matters, the one within you. There you are not waiting to be chosen. You are not pleading to be seen. You are not asking for a seat at the table. You are the table. You are the one they seek. You must stop acting as though life is happening to you and realize that it is happening through you. You are not a beggar outside the gates of opportunity. You are the keeper of the key. What you feel yourself to be on the inside must become your reality on the outside, for the world is simply echoing your inner dialogue. There is a vast difference between wishing and being. Wishing keeps your desire at a distance. Being brings it into the now. The moment you assume you are the one they seek, everything begins to shift. You move differently. You speak with quiet authority. You no longer chase, because what you are, you do not chase. You embody. And this is the secret. When you live from the end, the middle must rearrange itself to match. You don't need to figure out how it will come. You simply need to dwell in the knowing that you already are it. When you walk into a room, the energy changes, not because you need approval, but because you know you carry the vibration of the one who is sought after. Do not wait for the world to tell you your worth. Tell it first, and it will reflect it back to you in ways so precise, so perfect, that it will seem as though the world itself conspired to deliver your truth. And it did. You are not becoming, you are remembering. The one they seek is not someone you must create, it is someone you must awaken. That version of you already exists in the unseen. Bring it forth through belief. Sustain it through repetition. Honor it through your state of being. So today I say to you, stop acting small. Stop shrinking to fit into places that cannot hold your spirit. Stand as if you are the one they seek, because you are. And when you act from that place, all things, people, opportunities, and favor will be drawn to you by the silent law of your own assumption. You are not the follower, you are the lighthouse. Let the world come to you. You do not need to be chosen, you already are. The moment you stop searching for signs outside yourself and begin to embody the truth within, everything changes. There is a great lie that has been whispered into the minds of many, that you must earn love, prove your worth, or beg for attention. But none of that is true. The truth is this: you are already the one. You were chosen the moment you became aware of your desire. The mere existence of the desire proves the existence of its fulfillment. You wouldn't want it if you weren't already it. You see, the world does not choose you. You choose you. The world only confirms what you have already accepted as true in the secret chambers of your mind. If you walk around waiting for someone to point at you and say, "You're enough," then you will live a life of delay. But if you begin now, right now, to assume that you are the one they seek, something begins to move. Not outside first, but within. And that inner movement is the seed of every outer manifestation. Most people live their lives on the defense, trying to prove they are worthy of being seen, of being loved, of being chosen. They change who they are, contort themselves into roles, and overextend in the hope that someone will notice them. But the truth is, no one notices what you don't notice in yourself. If you think you are unseen, the world will reflect that blindness. If you think you are lacking, life will echo that poverty. But if you decide, quietly, inwardly, that you are already chosen, already worthy, already desired, then all things begin to rearrange themselves in accordance with your assumption. To be chosen is not to be better than others. It is not to be superior or arrogant. It is to finally come home to the awareness that you were never lacking. It is to stop trying to fix what was never broken. You are not meant to chase love, attention, or opportunity. You are meant to embody it. And when you do, you become magnetic. Not by force, not by effort, but by presence. The one who knows they are the one does not need to speak loudly or seek confirmation. Their silence speaks. Their calm confidence announces itself. This is not pretending, this is not delusion, this is remembrance. You are remembering who you truly are, the one who was never waiting in line to be picked, but the one who always held the crown, even when you forgot. Life is not a matter of deserving, but of assuming. What you claim inwardly, life reflects outwardly. So stop looking around and start looking within. Stand tall in your quiet knowing. Let your posture reflect your inner truth. You are not waiting to be discovered. You are here to reveal yourself, not to them, but to you. The moment you realize you are already chosen is the moment everything begins to shift. Not because the world changed, but because you did. And that is the only change that ever mattered. Reality bends itself to the shape of your consciousness. It does not operate independently of your inner world. It reflects it moment by moment. The way you perceive yourself, the image you hold in the sacred theater of your mind, is not private. It leaks out into your words, your movements, your energy, and the world, like a perfect mirror, responds with absolute obedience to the image you project within. People are not reacting to you. They are reacting to your concept of you. If you believe you are overlooked, you will be. If you believe you are magnetic, you will be. This is not about arrogance or wishful thinking. It is a law. The law is simple. Assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled and live from it, not toward it, from it. When you act as if you are the one they seek, reality confirms it. It is not pretending. It is participating in the divine act of creation. You cannot escape your self-concept. You take it into every room, every interaction, every opportunity. If you carry the consciousness of someone waiting to be chosen, you will continue to attract circumstances that echo that waiting. But if you carry the consciousness of someone already chosen, already respected, already wanted, then that identity becomes your experience. The outer must follow the inner. There is no need to manipulate or chase. The world is not changed by force, it is changed by assumption. You must be it before it shows itself. When you live from the end, meaning when you embody the version of yourself who already has what they desire, the present moment becomes fertile ground for manifestation. You do not walk into a room hoping to be liked. You walk into a room knowing you are a presence that shifts the energy, not by ego but by essence. And others respond to that essence as if it were a truth they've known all along. The mistake many make is waiting for approval, waiting for love, waiting for opportunities. But reality does not grant gifts to those who wait. It grants gifts to those who already are, not because they've earned it, but because they've aligned with it. This is the power of consciousness, not as a distant philosophical idea, but as the living, breathing creator of all experience. Change your state of being and your world will follow. Think of yourself as unseen and you will be. Think of yourself as valuable and the world will reflect value back to you in every interaction. It is law. So start now. Not tomorrow, not when things improve, but now. Imagine the you who is no longer hoping, but being. Feel the difference. There's a strength in that version of you, a clarity, a stillness that needs nothing from the world. And from that stillness, everything is drawn to you. People sense the shift. Circumstances adjust. Life begins to move in rhythm with the new song you're singing inwardly. You don't have to wait for the world to give you permission to be who you are. Your consciousness has already done that. All that remains is for you to accept it, live from it, and let the world catch up. Because it will. It always does. Imagination is not idle fantasy. It is the creative force behind everything you see, touch, and experience. The life you live today is the direct result of the images you once held in your mind, consciously or unconsciously. Imagination is the hidden law, the silent architect of your reality. While the world tells you to act based on what is, the truth is, what is was born from what was imagined. Every outcome, every encounter, every role you find yourself in began first in thought, in vision, in unseen assumption. What you imagine yourself to be in private is the life you will eventually live in public. It is not merely what you wish for, but what you accept as true behind closed doors, when no one is watching. If in the silence of your mind you see yourself as overlooked, as unworthy, as secondary, the world has no choice but to echo those beliefs back to you. It is not punishment, it is precision. Reality does not argue with your imagination. Reality does not argue with impression. It reflects it. This is why you must guard your inner world with unwavering attention. You must not let your imagination drift into fear or lack, for it will create more of it. Instead, consciously and deliberately choose to see yourself as the one they seek, the answer, the presence, the one who already embodies what others are looking for. You do not wait to become it. You imagine yourself as it, and through that act you become it. You see, the outer world is delayed. It always lags behind the inner. By the time something appears in your life, it is already old. It is merely the printout of a script you wrote long ago in your mind. If you want to change the outer, you must revise the inner, not through effort, but through imagination. Embody the identity now within yourself. Walk in your mind as the one who is sought after, as the one who is noticed, chosen, valued. Imagine conversations where people speak of you with admiration. Imagine doors opening for you with ease. Imagine yourself moving through life with quiet certainty, not because the world has crowned you, but because you have already crowned yourself in your imagination. Do this not once, but often. Make it a practice. When doubt arises, return to your image. When the world contradicts your vision, remind yourself, the world is slow, but imagination is immediate. What you see now is not the final word. Your inner vision is stronger than circumstance, more powerful than statistics, more enduring than appearances. The truth is, no one else needs to see it yet. You must be the first believer, the one who carries the torch before the crowd arrives. And in time they will arrive. Not because you forced them to, but because they were drawn to what you imagined long ago in silence. So do not underestimate your inner world. Do not dismiss the images you hold as mere fantasy. They are blueprints, and reality is the builder. Speak in your mind as if you are already who you desire to be. Feel it, live in it, breathe in it. Because imagination, quiet, unseen, and sacred, is the hidden law that rules it all. There is a sacred truth that few ever truly understand. You do not have to chase anything in this world, not love, not success, not recognition. The act of chasing implies separation. It declares that what you desire is outside of you, distant, apart from your being. But nothing is ever apart from you. The very moment you desire something, it already exists within you as a possibility. And that possibility becomes inevitable the moment you align with it. Alignment is not striving. It is not desperate effort or trying to convince the world of your worth. Alignment is internal agreement. It is the still knowing that you are already what you once hoped to become. It is when your thoughts, emotions, and self-perception begin to match the reality you seek. From that place, attraction is effortless. You do not pull things toward you, they are simply drawn to you. Because you are now vibrating at the same frequency as your desire. Chasing pushes things away. It stems from the belief that you are not yet enough. It broadcasts lack. You may want to be loved, but if you chase love from a place of feeling unloved, you will only attract more distance. You may want to be chosen, but if you chase validation from a place of insecurity, you will meet more rejection, not because you are unworthy, but because you are misaligned. The outer must reflect the inner. It is a law that cannot be broken. The moment you stop trying to get and start choosing to be, everything changes. You no longer need to chase the relationship, the opportunity, or the recognition. Instead, you become the version of yourself who already lives in the reality, where it is normal, where it is natural, where it is yours. And that version of you doesn't wait. That version of you doesn't beg. That version of you is calm, collected, magnetic. When you align, life bends to meet you. People sense it. They cannot explain it, but they feel something in your presence. It's not your appearance, it's not your words, it's your energy. It is your certainty. It is the quiet power that comes from no longer needing anything from the world, because you've already claimed it within. So ask yourself, am I trying to get, or am I choosing to be? The difference is everything. The first leads to exhaustion. The second leads to flow. The first keeps you outside the gate. The second reveals that the gate was never locked. You must embody it now, not tomorrow, not once conditions change, but now. If you desire to be loved, align with the feeling of being deeply loved. If you desire success, align with the posture of one who is already successful. If you desire peace, become the peace you are seeking. And as you do, what once seemed far away will begin to show up naturally. Not because you ran after it, but because it recognized you. It recognized its match. Never chase, only align. Let go of the noise, the proving, the striving. Go within, adjust the dial of your self-concept, and rest in the knowing that what you are seeking is already seeking you. And when you become it, it has no choice but to find you. That is the beauty of alignment. That is the law. You must learn to turn your gaze inward and place your trust, not in what your senses reveal, but in what your assumption declares to be true. The outer world is always lagging. It is a reflection, not a creator. If you wait for the evidence before you believe, you will wait forever. The truth is this: it is your assumption that shapes the evidence, not the other way around. What you accept as true within yourself will eventually be confirmed outside of you. You were never meant to beg for proof. You were meant to walk in the quiet certainty that what you assume to be real is real. This is the way of all things unseen that later become seen. When you look for evidence before belief, you give your power away to circumstance. You begin to ask the world to tell you who you are. But the world does not lead, you do. Your inner state is the cause, the outer is only effect. Assume your worth now. Assume your position now. Not when someone validates you, not when a door opens, not when things begin to look promising. That is not faith. That is reaction. Creation begins with assumption. You must carry yourself as the one who already is what they desire to be. Let your posture speak of your knowing. Let your presence reflect a truth that the world has not yet caught up to. It will in time. It always does. But it must begin within you. Detachment from evidence is not denial, it is mastery. It is choosing to remain loyal to your vision even when nothing yet supports it. It is looking at the void and calling it full. It is walking through the desert and declaring it an oasis. This is not delusion. This is the law of consciousness. Everything begins in imagination, in belief, in unseen certainty. You are not your current circumstances. You are not your past. You are not the reactions of others. You are only what you dare to assume yourself to be. And the boldness of your assumption will be matched by the boldness of your results. Hold the feeling, not because the world reflects it, but because it will. Let that be your peace. You do not need confirmation to persist. You only need the strength to believe without seeing. The most magnetic people are those who do not wait for approval. They walk in the energy of one who is already confirmed, already crowned, already complete. And the world responds with reflection after reflection of that inner knowing. This is not about trying harder, this is about assuming deeper. Go within and ask, who do I believe I am? And if the answer does not match your desire, it is time to change the assumption. Nothing outside of you holds power over your life. The evidence you seek will arrive after your belief, not before. So detach from what your eyes see. Attach to what your inner vision knows. Let that knowing grow roots, and do not be shaken by delay. Delay is not denial. It is simply time catching up with your consciousness. Live as though it is already done. Think, feel, and move as though you are already living your desired life. Do this without evidence, and the evidence will come, not to convince you, but to confirm that you were right all along. There is no need to wait. There is no better time. The future you long for, the life you envision, the version of yourself you strive to become, it already exists within you. But it does not live in some distant tomorrow. It lives in the now. The only moment that has ever had the power to create is this one. The idea that you must become ready or wait for a sign or prepare more before you can claim what is already yours, that idea keeps you in a loop of becoming rather than being. You are not waiting on the world is waiting on you. It is waiting for you to stop postponing your identity, to stop hoping that something out there will grant you permission to become what you already are within. You must understand the outer change you seek is a result, not a cause. It is not the job, the relationship, the success that will make you feel complete. It is the inner shift into already being complete that makes the outer arrive. Act as if it is already done. Think from the end, not toward it. Do not wish for the experience. Embody it. If you desire confidence, begin to feel now how the confident version of you stands, speaks, breathes. If you desire love, begin to move as if you are already loved, already chosen, already secure. The energy you emit now becomes the reality you will see soon. Waiting is a silent declaration of lack. It assumes the thing you want is not yet yours. And as long as you carry that assumption, reality must reflect it. It cannot contradict you. You must therefore become the version of you who lives in the desired state now, not when the world catches up, but before. The inner shift must come first. It is law. People often say, I'll be that when I have the evidence. I'll feel wealthy when I have the money. I'll feel loved when they show up. I'll feel valuable when someone sees my worth. But this is backwards. The world mirrors the inner state, it does not lead it. You must feel wealthy to attract wealth. You must embody love to call it in. You must see your own worth before anyone else can respond to it. You are not reacting to life. You are causing it. This is not about pretending. This is about knowing. There is a difference. Pretending is hoping. Knowing is being. And when you know something is already true in consciousness, the world bends itself to prove you right. So stop waiting, stop delaying, stop imagining your future self as someone you will one day meet. Realize you are that now. Close your eyes and enter the scene, not as a distant fantasy, but as a present truth. Touch it in your mind. Feel it in your body. Let it become natural, real, familiar. The moment you do, you have shifted timelines. You have moved from desire to embodiment. And from that moment forward, the world begins its quiet rearrangement to catch up with your new state. There is no power in delay. There is only power in now. So be it now, not later. The inner shift creates the outer shift. And it all begins the moment you dare to believe it already is. In closing, remember this. The life you desire is not something to chase or wait for. It is something to embody here and now. Your imagination shapes your reality, your assumptions set the stage, and your inner alignment calls forth what is meant for you. When you act as if you are already the one they seek, when you detach from evidence and anchor yourself in unwavering belief, the world will reflect your truth back to you. The future is not distant. It lives in this very moment, waiting for you to step fully into your power. Thank you for allowing these words to resonate with you today. May you walk forward with the confidence that you are already chosen, already complete, and already on the path to your greatest manifestation.
When you stop texting and calling a man, something remarkable begins to unfold, not in him first, but in you. You withdraw from the endless pursuit, ceasing to scatter your energy outward. This withdrawal is not an act of punishment, it is a return to your power, to the silent center where your true value resides. You see, when you are constantly reaching out, seeking acknowledgement, you dilute your own presence. You become familiar, predictable, and easily dismissed. But when you stop, a void is created, a void that demands to be filled. And nature abhors a vacuum. Suddenly, the man who took your calls and messages for granted begins to feel the weight of your absence. He notices the silence, not as an emptiness, but as a presence that speaks louder than any words could. The law of withdrawal is a principle that can dramatically change the course of your life. It is about reclaiming your energy and withdrawing from situations, relationships, or behaviors that drain you, all without any force or resentment. When you pull back, you create a space in which the energy you previously gave to others, or to the world outside of you, is returned to yourself. This energy is then able to flow within, giving you the power to transform your life from the inside out. Withdrawal is not a withdrawal of love, but a conscious decision to stop seeking external validation and to start cultivating self-empowerment. When you're constantly giving, chasing, or reaching out to others for affirmation, approval, or affection, you are spreading your energy thin. This creates a dynamic where your worth becomes dependent on others and their responses, leaving you with little control over your own life. The law of withdrawal, however, calls you to turn inward, to cease the external search for fulfillment, and to recognize that the love and approval you seek is already within you. The first powerful shift that happens when you practice the law of withdrawal is that you reclaim your power. Too often we give our power away without realizing it, hoping that our actions will cause someone to value us, love us, or recognize our worth. This is common in romantic relationships, but it also happens in friendships, work environments, and other personal interactions. When we stop texting, calling, or chasing after someone to get their attention, we take back control of our energy and our actions. In doing so, we become the one in command of the situation, not from a place of manipulation, but from a place of understanding that you have the choice to direct your attention and energy where you see fit. By pulling back, you also tap into the mystery that naturally exists in any meaningful relationship. When you are always accessible, always responding, always there to be relied upon, you lose your intrigue. There is nothing left to be discovered. But when you create space, when you stop texting and calling, you allow mystery to enter the equation. This is a universal law. Mystery attracts attention. When someone does not know what you are doing or why you are silent, their curiosity is piqued. They begin to wonder what has changed. And this wonder is what draws them back into your orbit. Not because you are playing games or trying to manipulate, but because you are honoring your own needs and energy, which becomes a powerful force that others cannot easily ignore. The law of withdrawal teaches us the value of absence. Absence doesn't just mean physical distance, it means emotional and energetic space. When you stop constantly reaching out, you allow for the other person to miss you, to feel the void you've left behind. Absence makes the heart grow fonder. It's an old saying, but it is rooted in a profound truth. People do not appreciate what they have until it is no longer there. The withdrawal you initiate may create a longing in the other person, not because you have done anything extraordinary, but simply because you have taken the step to honor yourself by stepping back. When you no longer chase, the pursuit is now in their hands. They begin to recognize that you are not someone who is easily available at all times. You are a person who deserves to be valued, respected, and pursued. But the power of withdrawal doesn't lie solely in its effect on others, it's even more profound in the way it impacts you. Withdrawal allows you to reconnect with yourself, to rediscover who you truly are without the distraction of constant interaction and external influences. When you stop seeking outward validation, you begin the journey inward. And this is where true self-discovery begins. You start to focus on your own thoughts, desires, and emotions. You learn to listen to your inner voice, and through this practice you begin to realize that your worth is not something to be given to you by others, it is inherent in who you are. Furthermore, the law of withdrawal cultivates peace and inner fulfillment. Too often we fill the silence with distractions, whether it's through constant communication, social media, or external noise. But in the stillness of withdrawal, there is peace. When you stop texting, calling, or constantly engaging with the world, you can hear your own thoughts more clearly. You can hear your needs, your desires, and your inner wisdom. This practice fosters a deep sense of self-love and self-respect because you are no longer chasing external approval. Instead, you learn to approve of yourself, to nurture your own soul, and to trust that everything you need is already within you. There is also a transformative aspect to the law of withdrawal in how it strengthens your ability to trust in the unseen. Many times, when we stop pursuing someone or something, we fear that the situation will fall apart, or that we will lose something important. But withdrawal is an act of faith. It is a recognition that there are unseen forces, be they divine, energetic, or simply the natural flow of life, that are working to bring about the right circumstances for us. When you withdraw, you are saying that you trust that the universe will align things in your favor, even if you do not understand how or why. It is the trust that by letting go, you are opening the door for something better to come into your life. The universe works in mysterious ways, and when you step back, you give space for the best possible outcome to unfold. The law of withdrawal is a powerful tool for anyone seeking to reclaim their life, their energy, and their sense of self-worth. It is not about withdrawing in fear, but rather in strength. When you stop chasing, when you stop texting and calling, you create space for the world to come to you. And when that happens, you will realize that you never had to chase at all. Your true worth, your true power, was always within you, waiting for you to recognize it. The power of mystery is an ancient and profound force that plays a central role in both human attraction and personal transformation. Mystery isn't about deception or playing games, it is about creating space for curiosity to thrive, for discovery to unfold, and for others to find something valuable in what remains unseen. When you embody mystery, you create an aura of allure, an intrigue that cannot be replicated by constant exposure or predictability. It is through the art of mystery that we can draw others to us, find deeper connections, and create the conditions for our own personal growth and self-realization. At the core of the power of mystery is the understanding that not everything should be revealed immediately. In our modern world, where access to information is instant and constant, we often feel the pressure to share every detail of our lives, to make ourselves completely transparent. But in doing so, we rob ourselves of the power that mystery provides. We give too much of ourselves away too soon, and in that act of overexposure, we lose the opportunity for others to truly value what we offer. The magic of mystery lies in what is hidden, what is waiting to be discovered. It is the sense that there is more beneath the surface, that there is a deeper layer yet to be uncovered. This is what makes something or someone captivating. It is the unknown that calls out to be explored, the curiosity that urges us to keep seeking. When you practice the power of mystery, you stop oversharing and instead allow others the chance to get to know you over time. It's about leaving something for the imagination, something that cannot be easily explained away or fully grasped in one encounter. Whether it's in relationships, professional settings, or even in personal development, the more you withhold, the more others will want to engage with you. This doesn't mean you should hide your true self, but rather that you reveal yourself piece by piece, offering glimpses rather than full exposure. By doing so, you invite others to step closer, to peel back the layers of your being, and to uncover what makes you unique. The allure of mystery is one of the most powerful forces in human nature. When something or someone holds an element of mystery, it draws people in. This is especially true in relationships. When we stop revealing every thought, every action, and every feeling, we create an energy that compels others to inquire, to ask questions, and to engage with us on a deeper level. It sparks curiosity and creates a sense of anticipation. When people cannot immediately decipher you, they are left wondering about your thoughts, your intentions, your desires. They begin to feel that there is something more to you, something they have yet to fully experience or understand. This is what creates attraction, the desire to know more, to understand the puzzle that you present. This same concept applies to how we relate to ourselves. We are often our own biggest mystery, not because we are hiding anything, but because our inner worlds are vast and complex. The more we allow ourselves to be curious about our own potential, our desires and our feelings, the more we unlock hidden aspects of ourselves. Personal growth comes not from having all the answers, but from exploring the unknown parts of our psyche and allowing them to reveal themselves in their own time. When we embrace our own mystery, we stop limiting ourselves to what we already know and become open to the possibility of discovering new facets of who we are. The power of mystery also creates room for imagination. When we withhold, we allow others to project their thoughts and feelings onto us, and in doing so, we create a space where they can form their own connections to us. This can be an extremely powerful tool in relationships. Rather than presenting a complete picture, we allow others to experience us in fragments, and in the process, they fill in the gaps with their own perceptions. This process can foster a sense of connection and understanding that might not otherwise exist if everything were immediately laid out in front of them. The beauty of this lies in the fact that each person's perception of us is uniquely shaped by their own experiences, their own thoughts, and their own desires. Mystery also plays a significant role in our ability to manifest our desires and shape our future. In many ways, life itself is a mystery, and the more we embrace the unknown, the more we allow life to unfold in unexpected and exciting ways. When we allow space for mystery, we stop trying to control every outcome and instead trust in the unseen forces that guide us. We learn to surrender to the process of life, knowing that there is a greater plan at work, even if we cannot always see it. By stepping into the unknown with faith, we allow ourselves to be open to new opportunities, new relationships, and new experiences that we could never have predicted. This power of mystery also connects us to something larger than ourselves, whether we call it the universe, divine intelligence, or the collective consciousness. It is the understanding that there is much more to life than meets the eye, and that the mysteries of life are there to be embraced, not feared. The more we step into this mysterious flow, the more we are aligned with the natural rhythms of existence. We stop forcing outcomes and instead let life unfold in its own time, knowing that everything we need will be revealed when the time is right. The power of mystery is about creating a balance between revealing enough to spark interest and holding back enough to maintain intrigue. It is about understanding that there is more to you and to life than what is immediately visible. It is about inviting curiosity, allowing discovery, and trusting that the unknown holds beauty, potential, and a deeper connection. By embracing the mystery within yourself and in the world around you, you create a life that is ever evolving, full of wonder, and continuously unfolding into something more profound. Self-worth is silent, not in the sense of passivity or being unheard, but rather in the quiet strength that emanates when you truly know your value without needing to announce it to the world. True self-worth doesn't demand attention or validation from others. It is a deep inner knowing that transcends external circumstances, judgments, or comparisons. It is an energy that silently radiates from within, regardless of whether anyone acknowledges it. This kind of self-worth is not dependent on approval or admiration, and it doesn't require external recognition. Instead, it stands firm in the knowledge that you are enough, simply by being who you are. In a world that often places so much emphasis on outward appearances, achievements, and the opinions of others, it can be easy to forget the silent power of self-worth. We often find ourselves chasing validation, trying to prove our worthiness through accomplishments, social media likes, or even the opinions of people we don't know. But this outward pursuit is draining and ultimately hollow. It's a cycle that never truly satisfies the inner longing for validation, because it is built on external sources that are fleeting, changing, and often unreliable. Self-worth, on the other hand, does not depend on any of these things. It is a quiet, unwavering belief that we are valuable regardless of what anyone else says or does. When you have true self-worth, you no longer feel the need to explain yourself to others. There is no need for justification, no need to defend your actions, your decisions, or your worth. You are comfortable in your own skin, with your own choices, because you have come to a place of inner understanding that you are enough. This silence is not born of insecurity, but of strength. It is the power of knowing that your value is inherent and not subject to the whims of anyone else's perception. When you stop seeking validation from others, you start to tap into an authentic power that needs no external reinforcement. Your self-worth becomes a solid foundation on which you can build the life you truly desire. This quiet sense of worth also allows you to set boundaries that are rooted in self-respect, not fear or self-doubt. When you understand your value, you recognize that you deserve respect, love, and kindness. You no longer tolerate disrespect or mistreatment, because you know that you are worthy of better. There is no need for loud proclamations or dramatic gestures when you have established this silent understanding of yourself. Your actions speak volumes. Your presence commands respect, not because you demand it from others, but because you have cultivated a sense of self-respect so strong that others cannot help but acknowledge it. Self-worth also allows for a sense of peace and contentment that comes from within. In a world that constantly pushes us to strive for more success, more possessions, more recognition, it is easy to get caught in the never-ending chase. But when you know your worth, you can step off this treadmill of external achievement and find peace in simply being. You recognize that you are not what you have, what you do, or what others think of you. You are not defined by your job title, your bank balance, or the number of followers you have. Your worth is not something that can be measured by these external markers. It is something intrinsic, something that can't be taken away. This peace that comes with self-worth doesn't mean that you are complacent or stop striving for your goals. On the contrary, when you know your value, you are more likely to pursue your passions with focus and clarity. You no longer do things out of desperation or a need for approval, but out of a desire to fulfill your own potential and to express the gifts you've been given. You become less concerned with competition, comparison, and the opinions of others. Your journey is your own, and the only person you need to impress is yourself. You learn to celebrate your achievements, no matter how big or small, because you know that they are a reflection of your growth, not of anyone's validation. Another important aspect of silent self-worth is how it affects the way you relate to others. When you know your worth, you attract people who recognize and honor it. You no longer settle for relationships or situations that drain your energy or undermine your sense of self. The right people will be drawn to your quiet confidence, your ability to stand firm in your own truth, and your genuine respect for others. You create an environment where mutual respect, love, and understanding can thrive. You are no longer seeking approval or validation from others, which means you are free to engage in relationships based on authenticity, rather than neediness or insecurity. This shift allows you to form deeper, more meaningful connections, where you are loved and valued for who you truly are. The silence of self-worth is also transformative when it comes to failure or setbacks. Many people tie their sense of value to their success or accomplishments, believing that they are only worthy if they are winning, achieving, or meeting societal standards. But when your self-worth is silent, it is not shaken by failure. You understand that failure is a part of the journey, a lesson to be learned, not a reflection of your inherent worth. You no longer tie your sense of self to external outcomes. Instead, you take each experience, good or bad, as an opportunity to grow without questioning your value as a person. The power of self-worth lies in its quiet resilience. It is a strength that cannot be easily rattled or taken away. It does not require external validation or loud declarations. It is a steady knowing, a calm confidence that comes from within, and it is the foundation upon which you can build a life of peace, purpose, and fulfillment. When you truly understand your worth, you no longer need to prove it to anyone. You simply embody it in every action, every thought, and every word. And in doing so, you create a life that reflects the quiet, powerful truth of who you truly are. Reclaiming the throne is a metaphorical journey of rediscovering and asserting one's inherent power, authority, and right to live a life of purpose and fulfillment. It is the process of taking back what is rightfully yours, your sense of self, your confidence, and your sovereignty over your own life. Life may have challenged you, and external circumstances may have led you to doubt your worth or potential. But reclaiming the throne is about overcoming those struggles and stepping back into your true power. It is about remembering who you are, asserting your place in the world, and refusing to allow external forces to dictate your path. At some point in our lives, we may all find ourselves feeling like we've lost our seat of power. Whether it's through relationships that have drained us, failures that have humbled us, or negative circumstances that have shaped our beliefs, we may begin to doubt our abilities or lose touch with our inner strength. But the throne is always there, waiting to be reclaimed. It never truly left, it was simply abandoned for a time. Reclaiming it is not about seeking external validation or approval, but about turning inward and rediscovering the untapped potential that lies within. Reclaiming the throne starts with acknowledging your own worth. You must first recognize that you are worthy of the life you desire, the love you deserve, and the success you seek. And so often people allow external opinions, past failures, or societal expectations to convince them that they are not enough. They shrink in the presence of others, doubt their abilities, and relinquish their dreams because they believe they are unworthy. But this belief is a lie. You are not defined by the setbacks or struggles you faced. Your worth is inherent and immutable. To reclaim the throne, you must step out of the shadow of self-doubt and into the light of self-empowerment. This requires shedding the limiting beliefs that have held you back and embracing the truth that you have always been capable of greatness. The act of reclaiming the throne is also about setting boundaries and refusing to tolerate anything less than what you deserve. For many, this is one of the most difficult steps in the journey. We often allow others to overstep our boundaries, whether it's in relationships, work, or even with our own inner dialogue. We let the demands of others dictate how we spend our time, energy, and resources. We neglect ourselves in favor of pleasing others or seeking their approval. But when you reclaim your throne, you stop giving your power away. You begin to set clear boundaries and communicate your needs and desires with confidence. You no longer allow others to dictate your worth or decide how much space you should occupy in the world. Your throne is yours to claim, and you will not let anyone take it from you. The throne is also about embracing your uniqueness. You are not here to be a copy of someone else or to conform to society's standards of success or happiness. The throne you are meant to sit on is uniquely yours, and it requires you to step fully into your authentic self. This means releasing the need to compare yourself to others, to chase after what everyone else is doing, or to seek approval from the outside world. When you reclaim your throne, you do so on your own terms, embracing your individuality and recognizing that your path is one that only you can walk. This is the essence of true sovereignty, to be in complete alignment with who you are, not who others expect you to be. Another key element of reclaiming the throne is forgiving yourself and letting go of past regrets. Many people struggle with the weight of past mistakes, failures, or missed opportunities. These experiences can create a heavy burden, making it feel as though you are unworthy or incapable of achieving your goals. However, no one is perfect, and everyone makes mistakes along the way. The process of reclaiming your throne involves forgiving yourself for your past missteps and understanding that they do not define you. They are simply lessons on the journey. By releasing the grip of past regret, You free yourself to step into your true power and move forward with renewed purpose and clarity. The throne is also an act of trust in yourself and trust in the universe. There will always be challenges, setbacks, and moments of doubt. But when you trust yourself, you trust that you are capable of overcoming anything that comes your way. You trust that your inner wisdom, your intuition, and your resilience will guide you through life's obstacles. You also trust that the universe has a plan for you, and that everything you have experienced, both the good and the bad, has led you to this moment of reclamation. Trust is the fuel that drives the journey forward, propelling you to move past fear and uncertainty and to claim what is yours with confidence. Reclaiming the throne is not a one-time event, it is an ongoing process. Life will continue to present challenges, and the pull of external influences may always try to convince you to relinquish your power. But each time you assert your boundaries, remember your worth, and embrace your unique path, you strengthen your position on the throne. You become more resolute in your self-belief, more confident in your decisions, and more steadfast in your vision for your life. The throne is not something that can be taken away from you once you reclaim it. It is yours to sit upon for as long as you choose. Reclaiming the throne is about stepping into your full potential and living a life that reflects your true worth. It is about letting go of the limitations that have held you back and embracing the power that has always been within you. When you take your rightful place, you begin to create a life that is in alignment with your deepest desires, a life that is authentic, fulfilling, and empowered. The throne is yours for the taking. Reclaim it and begin to live the life you were always meant to lead. Energy flows where attention goes. This simple but profound concept reveals the deep connection between our focus and the results we experience in life. The energy that we put into something, whether it's a thought, a task, or a goal, is the energy that grows. Our attention, the spotlight of our awareness, directs where our energy will flow, and therefore it determines what we manifest in our lives. Whether we are aware of it or not, we are constantly creating through the energy we direct with our thoughts, feelings, and actions. When we place our attention on something, we are essentially feeding it with our energy. This energy can take many forms, including our emotions, our thoughts, and our actions. For example, when we focus on negative thoughts or worries, we are pouring our energy into those concerns, and as a result, we attract more of what we fear or dread. On the other hand, when we focus on positive thoughts, gratitude, and optimism, we are directing our energy into these more constructive aspects, which naturally leads to more positive experiences. This is not just an abstract idea, it's a fundamental law of how the universe operates. Like a magnet, our attention draws similar energies toward us, and as a result, our reality reflects what we focus on most. In life, we often get distracted by external circumstances or negative thoughts that pull our attention away from what we truly desire. These distractions can feel overwhelming, and it can seem like we have no control over where our energy goes. But the truth is, we always have the power to choose where to direct our attention. It's easy to focus on problems, challenges, or what is not working. But by doing so, we only strengthen those things in our lives. Instead, we can choose to shift our focus to solutions, possibilities, and the positive aspects of our situation, thereby allowing the energy to flow toward growth and improvement. The practice of mindfulness is one way to bring awareness to where our attention goes. By consciously paying attention to our thoughts and feelings, we can catch ourselves when we begin to focus on the negative or unproductive. Mindfulness allows us to redirect our attention and energy, empowering us to make more intentional choices. It's a practice that encourages us to step back from the chaos of life and observe the patterns in our thoughts. In doing so, we become more aware of how much energy we waste on things that don't serve us, and we can consciously choose to invest that energy in pursuits that align with our highest good. Our relationships are another area where the principle of energy flows, where attention goes holds significant meaning. If we direct our attention toward understanding, appreciation, and connection with others, the energy in those relationships grows, and so does the bond between us. However, if our attention is consumed with judgment, resentment, or criticism, those relationships tend to deteriorate. In any interaction, our energy is influenced by where we place our attention. When we choose to listen attentively, show empathy, and invest in positive communication, the relationship becomes stronger and more fulfilling. On the other hand, when we focus on flaws, disagreements, or negative aspects, the energy in the relationship becomes heavy and strained. The same principle applies to our goals and ambitions. What we focus on expands. If we focus on our goals with clarity and intention, we naturally begin to take actions that align with them. The energy we invest in our dreams, whether it's through planning, visualization, or consistent effort, multiplies, propelling us closer to what we want to achieve. On the other hand, if we spend our time doubting ourselves, worrying about potential failure, or focusing on obstacles, our energy is drained, and the progress toward our goals slows or halts altogether. In order to manifest what we desire, we must direct our attention to the end result, to the feelings and thoughts that support our vision, and to the small steps that will take us closer to our dreams. In the context of self-care, this idea also plays a pivotal role. Many people neglect their own well-being because they are distracted by the demands of life or the needs of others. Their attention is constantly going outward, leaving little energy for themselves. However, when we direct our attention inward and prioritize self-care, whether it's through rest, reflection, healthy habits, or pursuing passions that bring us joy, we direct energy toward nurturing ourselves. This creates a cycle of replenishment, where the more energy we give to ourselves, the more we have to give to others and to our goals. By shifting our focus inward, we recharge our physical, emotional, and mental health, which in turn enhances every other area of our life. Our environment also responds to where we direct our energy, whether it's the physical spaces we inhabit or the people we surround ourselves with. The energy of our surroundings reflects the energy we put into them. When we place our attention on creating a peaceful, organized, and uplifting space, the environment around us shifts and we experience a greater sense of harmony. If we neglect the energy in our environment, whether it's through clutter, disorganization, or toxic relationships, we begin to feel drained, stressed, or stagnant. The principle is clear: energy flows where attention goes, and our surroundings are no different. In times of adversity or challenge, it becomes even more crucial to be mindful of where we place our attention. It's easy to get lost in the struggle, to feel overwhelmed by difficulties, but by consciously shifting our attention to solutions, gratitude, and opportunities, we change the flow of energy. This shift doesn't mean ignoring reality or pretending everything is fine when it's not. It means consciously choosing to focus on what you can control, what you can learn from the situation, and how you can grow through the challenge. When we focus on the opportunities within adversity, we begin to notice them and start to take empowered action. Energy truly flows where attention goes. The universe responds to our focus, amplifying whatever we give our energy to. By being mindful of where we place our attention, we can consciously create a reality that reflects our desires, dreams, and highest potential. Whether it's in our relationships, careers, or personal growth, we have the power to choose where to direct our energy, and in doing so, we shape the world around us. The key is awareness, intentionality, and understanding the profound impact of where we place our focus. When we choose to direct our attention toward positive, empowering thoughts, goals, and actions, the energy flows in a way that serves our highest good. Absence makes the heart seek. This timeless expression holds a deep truth about human nature and relationships. It speaks to the powerful effect that distance and separation have on our emotions, desires, and connections. When we are separated from someone or something we care about, a void is created, one that stirs an intense longing within us. This absence often acts as a catalyst for introspection, personal growth, and even deeper appreciation for what is missing. The heart, in its pursuit of fulfillment, naturally seeks what is absent, drawing us toward the very things we may take for granted when they are within reach. At its core, the concept of absence making the heart seek is rooted in the emotional dynamics of longing and desire. When we are constantly surrounded by the people, experiences, or things that we value, we can become complacent. We may not fully appreciate their presence until they are no longer around. It is only in the absence of someone or something that we realize how much it truly means to us. This absence creates an emotional void that triggers our hearts to seek what has been lost or what is missing, pushing us to recognize the value of what we had and to pursue it once more. This phenomenon is not just limited to romantic relationships, although it is often most apparent in such contexts. In any relationship, be it familial, friendship, or romantic, the presence of the other person provides a sense of comfort, security, and belonging. When that person is absent, whether due to physical distance, emotional separation, or any form of disconnection, the absence can feel overwhelming. The heart begins to seek that connection again, and this yearning can lead to personal reflection and growth. The absence makes us question why the relationship mattered, what it brought to our lives, and how we can better nurture those bonds when they are present again. It is in the absence of someone we love that we may also discover the depth of our own feelings. We might not recognize how deeply we care until the person is not there to share in the moments of daily life. The heart's longing can serve as a reminder of the emotional importance of that individual, and in turn it offers an opportunity for growth in how we express and cherish our emotions. Often the absence creates a space for us to reflect on how we want to show up in the relationship moving forward, and how we might be more present and appreciative when the other person returns. This principle also extends to the things we pursue in life. We may take certain experiences, achievements, or dreams for granted when they are easily accessible. However, once those opportunities are out of reach, whether by circumstance, limitation, or change, we begin to truly appreciate their value. The absence of these opportunities sparks the heart to seek again, to reach toward new possibilities and rediscover passions that may have been forgotten or overlooked. The heart longs for what it once had or for what it has yet to experience. It pushes us to pursue new ventures, to reignite old dreams, and to take action on what was once only a distant hope. Absence also brings clarity. It provides a contrast that allows us to see things more clearly. When we have too much of something, it can become routine or even burdensome. But when we experience a loss or a gap in our lives, we are forced to evaluate the role that particular person, experience, or thing played in our lives. What we thought we could live without suddenly becomes something we crave. This clarity is often accompanied by a sense of appreciation for the things we had taken for granted. We are reminded of how important it is to make the most of what is currently within our reach, and to treasure the relationships and experiences that bring us joy. There is also an aspect of self-discovery that comes with the absence of something or someone important. The longing that emerges in such moments often reveals unmet needs, desires, and personal aspirations. It is in the absence that we may confront parts of ourselves that we were not fully aware of before. The heart's search is not just for the other person or the external circumstances, but also for deeper fulfillment within ourselves. In some cases, the absence of a person or situation may illuminate what we truly need in order to grow, heal, or evolve. It acts as a mirror, reflecting what is lacking or what has been hidden beneath the surface. But absence can also foster a sense of appreciation for the present moment. When we are no longer able to be with someone or engage in a particular experience, we may realize how precious those moments were. The heart's desire to seek what is absent often brings a deeper understanding of the fleeting nature of time and the importance of embracing the present. It teaches us to cherish what we have, to be present in the moment, and to express gratitude for the people and experiences that shape our lives. The heart's longing in absence can also be a source of inspiration and motivation. Often it sparks a drive to reconnect, to rebuild, or to pursue new opportunities. The yearning for something lost or unattainable drives us to act, to seek fulfillment, and to move forward. It is the fuel for change, pushing us to take steps we might have hesitated to take before. Absence, in its way, acts as a catalyst for transformation, prompting us to search for new paths, rekindle old connections, or rediscover forgotten passions. Absence is not always a negative force. While it may bring pain, longing, and heartache, it also brings growth, clarity, and understanding. It encourages the heart to seek what is lost, to appreciate what is truly valuable, and to discover new aspects of ourselves. It invites us to reflect on what we truly desire, to understand our own needs, and to pursue deeper connections with both ourselves and others. Absence, in its silent power, is a reminder that love, longing, and desire are forces that guide us toward greater self-awareness, connection, and fulfillment. The heart's search, fueled by absence, leads us to the realization that what we seek is often the key to unlocking our truest potential. In the hustle and bustle of daily life, it's easy to get swept away by external distractions, work, relationships, social expectations, and the constant demands of technology. Our attention often shifts outward, causing us to neglect the one thing that can profoundly shape our reality, our inner world. Yet our external circumstances are merely reflections of our internal state. What we experience in the physical world is directly influenced by the thoughts, emotions, and beliefs that reside within us. To truly transform our lives, we must first learn to focus on our inner world. The inner world is the realm of our thoughts, beliefs, emotions, and perceptions. It is where we hold our true essence and the source of all our experiences. Everything we encounter in life is filtered through the lens of our inner world. Our reactions to events, people, and situations are all shaped by how we internally interpret the world around us. If we want to create lasting change, we must start by looking within, becoming aware of the thoughts that dominate our minds, and questioning the beliefs that dictate our actions. At the heart of focusing on your inner world is the idea of self-awareness. Self-awareness is the ability to observe and understand your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors without judgment. It involves stepping back and looking at yourself from a place of neutrality, as if you were an outsider. This practice allows you to notice patterns in your thinking, emotions, and actions, and gives you the power to choose how to respond to life's challenges rather than reacting impulsively. By cultivating self-awareness, you can break free from automatic behaviors and start making conscious choices that align with your true desires and goals. Another essential aspect of focusing on your inner world is the power of self-talk. The way we speak to ourselves shapes our self-esteem, confidence, and sense of worth. If our inner dialogue is filled with negativity, self-doubt, or criticism, we begin to believe these thoughts as truths. Our inner narrative directly impacts how we perceive ourselves and how we show up in the world. Conversely, when we replace negative self-talk with affirmations of self-love, gratitude, and encouragement, we begin to reprogram our subconscious mind. Positive self-talk fosters a sense of empowerment, resilience, and trust in our abilities, which is essential for navigating life's challenges with grace and determination. Focusing on your inner world also means cultivating a healthy relationship with your emotions. Emotions are powerful indicators of where we are in life and what we are experiencing. However, many of us have been taught to suppress or ignore our feelings in favor of maintaining control or pleasing others. In doing so, we deny ourselves the opportunity to fully process and understand our emotions. Emotional intelligence, the ability to recognize, understand, and manage our emotions, is a key skill for living a balanced life. When we focus on our inner world, we give ourselves permission to feel all emotions, both positive and negative, without judgment. This creates a deeper sense of emotional freedom, allowing us to release pent-up feelings and heal from past wounds. Taking responsibility for your inner world is also a crucial step in the process. Often we tend to blame external circumstances for our unhappiness or dissatisfaction. We may believe that if only the world would change, or if others would behave differently, we would be happy. However, true empowerment comes from recognizing that we have the power to change our inner world, regardless of what is happening around us. By taking ownership of our thoughts, emotions, and actions, we reclaim our power and begin to shape the life we desire from the inside out. There is a profound power that exists beyond the limits of our understanding, a force that governs the ebb and flow of our lives, orchestrating circumstances, people, and events in ways that often seem beyond our control. This force is the universe. Many of us try to shape and manipulate our lives. exerting control over every detail, thinking that we must do everything ourselves in order to manifest our desires. But the truth is, when we learn to let the universe work, we open ourselves to the flow of life's magic and abundance. We allow the natural rhythm of existence to guide us toward the experiences, opportunities, and outcomes that are truly meant for us. The idea of letting the universe work is rooted in the belief that there is a higher intelligence at play, one that is always conspiring in our favor, even if we don't always see the immediate results. We live in a world of infinite possibility, where the universe has an uncanny way of bringing the right circumstances to us when we are in alignment with our desires and intentions. The key is to trust the process, to have faith that things will unfold in their own time, and to stop trying to force outcomes that may not be in our highest good. One of the first steps in allowing the universe to work is to let go of the need for control. We are often conditioned to believe that success, happiness, and fulfillment come from exerting control over every aspect of our lives. We believe that we must plan every move, direct every action, and manage every outcome. While action and intention are important, constantly trying to micromanage the details of our lives can create unnecessary stress and block the flow of energy. When we release the need to control, we open ourselves to receiving in ways that we may not have expected. Letting go of control also means surrendering to uncertainty. Life is unpredictable, and sometimes things don't go according to plan. We may face setbacks, challenges, or detours on our journey. However, these are often not signs of failure, but rather part of the universe's process of guiding us to the right path. When we let go of the need to predict every outcome, we free ourselves from the anxiety and frustration of trying to force things to happen. Instead, we allow space for serendipity, unexpected opportunities, and synchronicities to enter our lives. By embracing uncertainty, we trust that the universe will lead us where we need to go. Another crucial aspect of letting the universe work is practicing patience. In a world where instant gratification is often the norm, it can be challenging to trust that things are unfolding in their own time. We live in an era where everything is available at the touch of a button, but not everything in life works this way. Some desires take time to manifest. Whether it's a career change, a relationship, or personal growth, things often need to align and evolve at their own pace. When we learn to be patient and trust in divine timing, we allow the universe to work behind the scenes, orchestrating events in ways we cannot always see or understand. Patience is not about passively waiting for things to happen. It's about remaining in a state of trust and openness while continuing to take inspired action. The universe may be working on our behalf, but we still have a role to play in the process. We must align ourselves with the frequency of our desires, and this requires effort. This could mean taking steps towards our goals, shifting our mindset, or simply being open to receiving what is coming our way. But we do so with the understanding that, in the grand scheme of things, the universe is orchestrating the details in ways that are far beyond our limited vision. Another key to allowing the universe to work is to release attachment to the outcome. Often we become fixated on a specific outcome or timeline, believing that if we don't achieve our goals in a particular way or at a particular time, we have failed. However, when we attach too strongly to a specific result, we may inadvertently block the flow of energy that could bring us something even better. The universe works in mysterious ways, and what we think we want may not always be what is best for us. By releasing attachment to the outcome, we create space for the universe to deliver what we truly need, which may be different from what we initially envisioned. This is where the power of faith comes in. Faith is not about blind belief in something without evidence, but rather a deep trust in the process of life itself. It's knowing that, even when things seem unclear or uncertain, everything is happening for a reason. It's trusting that the universe has a plan for us, even when we cannot see the full picture. Faith allows us to remain hopeful and open, even when faced with challenges. It empowers us to continue moving forward, knowing that the right opportunities, people, and circumstances will present themselves at the right time. The universe responds to our energy, And the more we align ourselves with the energy of trust, gratitude, and abundance, the more the universe will bring us what we desire. Gratitude is a powerful tool for attracting more of what we want. When we appreciate what we already have, we signal to the universe that we are open to receiving even more. This shift in mindset transforms our energy, making us magnetic to the very things we seek. Gratitude helps us focus on the present moment, allowing us to see the blessings that are already present in our lives. In doing so, we create space for more of these blessings to flow into our experience. The idea of letting the universe work also involves staying in alignment with our authentic selves. Often we get caught up in societal expectations, other people's opinions, or the pursuit of superficial goals. But when we focus on what truly resonates with our soul, we align ourselves with the universe's greater plan for our lives. When we are true to ourselves, we attract experiences and people that are in harmony with our values, desires, and purpose. The universe works best when we are in alignment with our deepest truth, and this requires listening to our inner guidance and intuition. Letting the universe work is about trusting in the law of attraction, like attracts like. When we align ourselves with the energy of abundance, love, and joy, we attract more of the same into our lives. The universe responds to our vibration, and by maintaining a positive, optimistic outlook, we invite greater prosperity, happiness, and fulfillment into our reality. Letting the universe work is about surrendering to the flow of life, trusting in divine timing, and allowing the natural forces of the universe to guide us toward what we desire. It's about releasing the need for control, practicing patience, and maintaining faith that everything is unfolding as it should. When we let go and trust, we make space for the universe to bring us the perfect outcomes, in the perfect timing, and in ways that exceed our expectations. Through this trust, we tap into the infinite power of the universe, creating the life we were always meant to live. In conclusion, the key to transforming our lives and manifesting our desires lies in learning to trust the process and letting the universe work. By surrendering control, embracing patience, and releasing attachment to specific outcomes, we create space for divine timing and unseen forces to guide us toward the perfect circumstances. Faith in the universe's plan, combined with alignment to our true selves, opens the door to infinite possibilities, allowing us to attract the right experiences, people, and opportunities into our lives. The universe is always working on your behalf, and when you trust and allow it to unfold, you align yourself with the flow of life's abundant energy. So let go of the need to micromanage every detail, stay open to what's coming, and allow the universe to surprise you with its infinite wisdom. Thank you for listening. And may you embrace the power of letting the universe work in your life. In a world where distractions abound, where every voice beckons you in 1,000 directions, you must learn the sacred art of focus. Time is the silent witness to every choice you make, the unseen current guiding you either towards your purpose or away from it. Each second that slips from your grasp is a brushstroke on the canvas of your life, one you can never reclaim. Imagine each day as a blank canvas spread out before you, untouched, waiting for you to choose the colors and strokes that will give it life. Every decision, every action, every thought is a stroke on that canvas. While it may feel at times like circumstances and external forces are painting it for you, the reality is that it's always you holding the brush. You are the artist of your existence, crafting a masterpiece with each moment you live. This awareness alone is powerful, but it is also a responsibility. You must recognize that the painting before you at the end of each day is uniquely yours. No one else is responsible for its colors, its shapes, or the beauty it holds. You, and only you, can bring it into full expression. Often we let others make their marks on our canvas, as if it were theirs to control. In small ways, through distractions, expectations, or demands, we give up bits and pieces of our creative power. We yield to the thoughts, opinions, or judgments of others, allowing their influence to seep into the image of who we believe we should be. These influences are subtle, often invisible, yet each one leaves its mark, taking up space on the canvas that was meant for something else. To reclaim your creativity, your voice, and your vision, you must first acknowledge that the only opinion that truly matters is your own. Every artist knows that when they create for themselves, from their own passion and vision, their work is more powerful, more alive, and more genuine. Each choice you make, no matter how small, is a stroke of paint, adding either beauty, harmony, or chaos to the whole. There will be mistakes, there will be colors that perhaps didn't fit, strokes that felt off balance. Yet these are not failures. They are part of the learning, the growth, the evolution of your skill as an artist of your life. Imagine a painter who never allows themselves the freedom to make errors. Their canvas would be stiff, lifeless, constrained by fear. Likewise, when you give yourself the grace to experiment, to try, to learn from what doesn't work, your life opens up, becoming rich, vibrant, and real. Mistakes are merely lessons in disguise, teaching you what resonates with your spirit and what doesn't. It's easy to forget that the colors on your canvas can be chosen intentionally. Some live their lives as though they have only one color, painting day after day in monotonous shades without realizing they can reach for any hue, any shade. If you're feeling the grayness of routine or the dullness of conformity, it may be because you haven't given yourself permission to explore the full palette that life offers. Creativity, joy, peace, love, these colors are as available to you as stress, worry, or doubt. The choice, however, lies in what you reach for. Each time you choose a joyful thought, a kind action, or a moment of reflection, you are adding depth and richness to your life's artwork. You begin to paint with a bolder hand, unafraid of where each stroke will take you, because you know that, in the end, it will all come together. The most powerful artists are those who understand that their work is a reflection of their inner world. When you focus on cultivating a sense of purpose, on finding peace within, or on growing your resilience, this inner work translates onto the canvas of your life in ways you may not even realize. Suddenly, the challenges that once seemed overwhelming become manageable, even beautiful, as they are woven into the greater picture you are creating. As you deepen your understanding of yourself, your vision for your life sharpens, allowing you to paint with clarity, confidence, and grace. But remember, there is no rush. Every artist works in their own time. A masterpiece is not created in a day. Some strokes are broad, sweeping gestures, filling large portions of the canvas with bold intention. Others are delicate, detailed, and may seem insignificant until you step back and realize how they bring the entire picture together. Life, like art, requires both the bold and the subtle, the grand gestures and the quiet moments. The path of your creation is not one of haste, but of mindful, patient dedication to each moment, knowing that every brushstroke has its purpose. If you find yourself staring at the canvas, unsure of what to add next, or fearful of making the wrong mark, take a step back. Remind yourself that this is your work, your creation, and only you know what belongs here. Trust in your instincts, your dreams, your inner vision. The beauty of art is that there are no right or wrong choices, only expression. As you let go of self-doubt and embrace the flow, your life will reflect this liberation, growing more vibrant with each courageous choice you make. As you walk through each day, consider how you are adding to the masterpiece of your life. Are your actions, thoughts, and beliefs adding colors you are proud of? Or are they muddying the picture with uncertainty, conformity, or fear? Begin to practice intention, even in the smallest choices. These are the brushstrokes that will make up the masterpiece of your life. When you focus on the beauty of each moment and bring your full self into each decision, the world you create is one that resonates with your highest vision. And one day, when you step back to view the whole, you'll find a life that tells a story of courage, love, strength, and growth. This masterpiece, your masterpiece, will be uniquely yours, vibrant and alive with the colors you chose, the vision you nurtured, and the courage you cultivated. In the end, no other canvas will compare, because no other life could ever capture the essence of who you are quite like the one you chose to paint. The journey of self-mastery is one of the most rewarding paths you can take, for it leads to a life of true fulfillment, grounded not in the opinions or approval of others, but in a deep, unwavering sense of your own worth. So many of us knowingly or unknowingly, become entangled in a world of external validation, seeking reassurance and acceptance from others as if they alone hold the key to our value. But self-mastery is about breaking free from this dependency, stepping into a state where your sense of self is no longer swayed by outside influences. It is about finding a place within where your worth, decisions, and sense of purpose are anchored in something unshakable, your inner being. When we live for external validation, our lives become a reflection of others' expectations rather than our true desires. We may find ourselves adjusting our goals, our actions, even our personalities to align with what we think will please or impress those around us. Yet the paradox is that this quest for approval, for acceptance, is never fully satisfying. The standards set by others are often shifting, as is their attention and approval. Relying on external validation is like trying to fill a vessel that has no bottom. No matter how much you pour in, it can never be full. True self-mastery requires stepping away from this empty pursuit, choosing instead to invest your energy in building a solid foundation of self-worth that is unaffected by outside voices. Self-mastery begins with a commitment to knowing oneself on a deeper level. This process is not always comfortable, as it requires honesty and self-reflection. You must look within and ask, who am I when no one is watching? What do I truly value, desire, and believe? It may mean stripping away layers of societal conditioning, of beliefs and habits that were never yours to begin with, but were simply adopted out of a desire to fit in or be accepted. As you begin to connect with your core values, you establish an inner compass that guides you regardless of what others think or expect. This compass is built on principles that resonate deeply with who you are, not who others want you to be. One of the greatest benefits of self-mastery is the peace and freedom it brings. When you are no longer driven by the need to prove yourself to others, life becomes simpler and more fulfilling. You find joy in being authentic, in living by your own values, and in making choices that reflect your true self. You become less reactive, more composed, and less affected by external highs and lows. External circumstances no longer dictate your emotional state. Instead, your sense of fulfillment comes from within. You become like the eye of a storm, calm and centered, no matter what may be happening around you. Mastery also enhances your ability to make clear, confident decisions. When you live for external validation, your decisions are often clouded by what others might think. You may hesitate, overanalyze, or second-guess yourself, leading to indecision or regret. But when your decisions come from a place of inner alignment, you act with conviction and clarity. You trust yourself because you know that you are acting in alignment with your true values. This clarity not only reduces stress but also empowers you to take ownership of your life, knowing that each choice you make is a reflection of who you truly are, not of who others want you to be. Self-mastery is not about isolation or arrogance. It is about creating a healthy independence from others' opinions, a freedom to pursue your life without the constant need for reassurance. It means respecting yourself enough to honor your own perspective as deeply as you respect the views of others. This does not mean ignoring feedback or cutting yourself off from the world, but rather creating a space within yourself where feedback is received objectively, not as a judgment of your worth. In this space, you can weigh others' insights without allowing them to define you, using them as helpful tools rather than as measures of your value. Self-mastery over external validation is about living in alignment with your highest self. It's about realizing that you already possess everything you need within to be fulfilled, happy, and at peace. There is a deep satisfaction that comes from knowing that you are living true to yourself, regardless of the opinions that may surround you. The more you cultivate this inner strength, the less dependent you become on the fleeting and fickle approval of others. You come to see yourself as whole, worthy, and complete just as you are. The path of self-mastery is not always easy, but it is one of profound transformation. With each step, you grow stronger, more grounded, and more connected to your purpose. You learn to stand in your own light, finding a joy and confidence that come from within. And as you do, you not only free yourself from the limitations of external validation, but also inspire others to find their own path, to seek their own truth, and to honor the beauty of their unique existence. Inner focus begins with an understanding that attention is one of the most valuable resources you possess. Just as you would be cautious with where you invest your money, being mindful of where you invest your attention is essential to creating a life aligned with your deepest desires and aspirations. In every moment, your attention is either building you up or scattering your energy. When you focus your attention inward, you direct your energy toward your own growth and mastery, enhancing your ability to make decisions that support your well-being and long-term happiness. Another benefit of inner focus is the sharpening of your intuition. When you are constantly distracted, it's difficult to hear your inner voice, the quiet but steady guide that directs you toward what's best for you. Inner focus, however, allows you to tune into this voice, making it easier to make decisions that feel aligned with your true self. As you deepen your inner focus, you begin to trust yourself more, relying less on external advice and more on your own intuition. This does not mean disregarding others' opinions altogether, but it does mean prioritizing your own inner guidance above all else. One of the most potent ways to guard the gate of your mind is by filtering the information you consume. We live in a world where information is constantly bombarding us from all directions, and not all of it is beneficial. It's easy to get swept up in the sensationalism of news, the drama on social media, or the opinions of those around us. While staying informed is important, it's equally essential to discern what content nourishes you and what drains you. Consuming endless negative news, for instance, can lead to anxiety, stress, and a sense of helplessness. By selectively choosing sources of information that inspire, uplift, and educate you, you create a mental environment where positivity and growth can flourish. Another crucial aspect of guarding the gate of your mind is developing an attitude of gratitude. Gratitude shifts your focus from lack to abundance, helping you recognize and appreciate the positive aspects of your life. When you focus on what you're grateful for, you crowd out thoughts of fear, worry, and dissatisfaction. Over time, this mindset becomes a natural part of your thought process, creating a positive feedback loop that reinforces inner peace and contentment. By anchoring yourself in gratitude, you create a protective layer around your mind that makes it easier to handle challenges without being overwhelmed by negativity. Understand that guarding the gate of your mind is a lifelong practice, not a one-time effort. It's a commitment to yourself, a promise to prioritize your mental and emotional health over external pressures. This practice doesn't mean you shut out the world, it means you approach the world with discernment, choosing to let in only what serves your highest good. By protecting your inner space, you create a solid foundation upon which you can build a life that is meaningful, fulfilling, and authentic to who you are. When you guard the gate of your mind, you take charge of your reality. Your thoughts shape your beliefs, and your beliefs shape your actions, ultimately creating the life you experience. By curating the influences you allow in, you not only protect your peace, but also empower yourself to create a life that reflects your values, aspirations, and true potential. This isn't about perfection, but about progress, about consciously choosing what nurtures you rather than accepting whatever comes your way. By being the gatekeeper of your mind, you honor yourself, and in doing so, you create a life that is fully, beautifully your own. In life, we often carry dreams, aspirations, and visions for who we want to become and what we want to achieve. Yet, these visions remain elusive until we make a conscious decision to align with them fully. Aligning with your vision is more than just thinking about your goals. It's about committing to them deeply and intentionally in both thought and action. It's a journey of consistent self-reflection, disciplined action, and unwavering belief that what you desire is not only achievable but is already a part of who you are. The process of alignment transforms your vision from a distant dream into a living, breathing part of your reality. Alignment starts with clarity. To align with your vision, you first need to understand it fully. Many people have a vague sense of what they want in life, but without precise clarity, it's challenging to take effective steps forward. Clarity means knowing not only what you want to achieve, but also why it matters to you. It's the difference between wishing for success and deeply understanding what success looks like for you, how it feels, and why it's meaningful. To gain this clarity, spend time exploring your vision in detail. Write about it, visualize it, and allow yourself to feel the emotions associated with achieving it. The more vividly you define your vision, the more powerful your alignment with it will become, as it transforms from a concept into something you experience with all of your senses. Another important aspect of alignment is resilience. Pursuing a vision comes with its share of challenges and setbacks. It's natural to feel discouraged at times, but resilience allows you to maintain alignment even when the path is difficult. Resilience is about trusting in the process and recognizing that every setback is a stepping stone toward growth. Remember that alignment with your vision does not mean everything will always be easy or go as planned. Instead, it's about remaining anchored in your commitment, learning from obstacles, and adapting when necessary. By viewing setbacks as opportunities to refine your approach, you build the inner strength needed to stay on course. Belief is another cornerstone of alignment. Aligning with your vision requires an unwavering belief in its possibility. Doubt is natural, but it should not dominate your mindset. When you believe deeply in your vision, you make it more real and accessible in your mind, which influences your actions and, ultimately, your results. Belief acts as a powerful magnet, attracting the resources, people, and opportunities needed to bring your vision to life. Cultivating belief means trusting not only in your vision but also in yourself and your ability to achieve it. Surround yourself with inspiration, people who believe in you, and reminders of past successes to bolster your faith when doubt arises. One of the most profound parts of aligning with your vision is recognizing that it's a journey, not a destination. Alignment is an ongoing process that requires continual adjustment and growth. As you evolve, so too might your vision, and that's natural. Alignment doesn't mean rigidly sticking to a plan without flexibility. It means staying true to the essence of what you want to create while being open to new possibilities and insights. Each experience, each step along the way, contributes to the realization of your vision, allowing it to expand and adapt in ways that serve your highest good. Celebrate the small victories along the way. Alignment with your vision is about more than just reaching the end goal. It's about becoming the person who embodies that vision. Every step, every breakthrough, and every lesson learned is a sign that you are growing closer to your dream. Celebrate your progress, acknowledge your efforts, and allow yourself to feel gratitude for the journey itself. Celebrating these moments reinforces your commitment, fuels your motivation, and keeps your alignment strong. When you align with your vision, you are committing to a life of purpose, intention, and authenticity. You are choosing to live each day in harmony with your highest aspirations, becoming the creator of your reality. Alignment is a powerful force that propels you forward, guiding your choices, your actions, and your thoughts toward the life you desire. By cultivating clarity, making intentional choices, taking consistent action, and nurturing a resilient, belief-filled mindset, you create the conditions for your vision to come to life. This alignment brings with it a deep sense of fulfillment as you watch your dreams unfold and realize that the journey itself was just as meaningful as the destination. Every choice we make is, in essence, an investment. Each decision directs our time, energy, and resources toward a particular outcome, and in this way shapes our lives, our future, and who we become. Whether the choice seems small or life-changing, each one accumulates over time, impacting our personal growth, relationships, finances, and overall well-being. Just as financial investments require careful consideration to yield the best returns, so do the choices we make in every area of our lives. Recognizing that every choice is an investment empowers us to act with purpose and mindfulness, helping us build a life that reflects our values and aspirations. Understanding choices as investments starts with seeing the intrinsic value of time and energy. Time is a finite resource, one that we cannot get back once spent. This makes every moment precious. Similarly, our energy, both physical and mental, has limits, and how we spend it directly impacts our ability to pursue our goals and maintain our well-being. When we view choices through this lens, we begin to understand that saying yes to one thing often means saying no to something else. Deciding to stay up late to finish a project, for example, may lead to reduced energy and focus the next day. Conversely, choosing to prioritize rest and self-care can recharge us, making us more effective and present in our responsibilities. Seeing choices as investments also encourages us to consider their potential long-term effects. Instant gratification is a powerful motivator, but it's often the choices that require patience and discipline that yield the most significant returns. Imagine a student choosing between studying for an important exam and going out with friends. The immediate reward of socializing may be tempting, but the long-term investment of studying may lead to better grades, more opportunities, and greater personal fulfillment. Similarly, investing in relationships, skills, or health habits might not yield visible results immediately, but they contribute significantly to our future quality of life. Financial decisions offer another clear example of how choices serve as investments. Every purchase we make, every savings habit we form, and every financial risk we take contributes to our financial stability, security, or strain. Small, consistent choices like setting aside a portion of income each month or avoiding impulse purchases can accumulate to create financial freedom over time. Alternatively, choosing to spend beyond our means can lead to debt, stress, and limited choices in the future. By treating financial decisions as investments, we cultivate a mindset that values foresight, discipline, and long-term planning, which helps us build a stable and fulfilling life. Relationships also reflect the investment of our choices. The people we surround ourselves with influence our mindset, beliefs, and overall happiness. Choosing to invest time in people who support and inspire us can create a network of relationships that encourage personal growth and emotional well-being. On the other hand, investing in relationships that drain us, breed negativity, or prevent us from becoming our best selves can be costly to our happiness and mental health. By choosing relationships carefully and prioritizing those that align with our values and goals, we create an environment that nurtures us, reinforcing our commitment to the life we want to build. Career choices also highlight the principle that every choice is an investment. How we approach our work, the skills we develop, and the effort we put into our professional lives shape our career trajectory. Committing to continuous learning and seeking opportunities for growth, for example, is an investment in our future success and adaptability in an ever-changing job market. Choosing to work with integrity and enthusiasm creates a reputation that can open doors to new opportunities, while decisions to settle for comfort over growth can limit our potential. Viewing our career choices as investments encourages us to act with ambition, commitment, and vision, helping us create a fulfilling professional life. Making choices as investments also involves personal development. Each decision to learn, grow, or expand our horizons builds upon our character and capabilities. Investing time in reading, practicing mindfulness, or cultivating a skill enriches our inner lives and strengthens our ability to handle life's challenges. When we choose activities that challenge us or require perseverance, we build resilience, confidence, and a sense of purpose. Conversely, choosing to remain in our comfort zones may feel safe, but it often leads to stagnation and missed opportunities for growth. By investing in ourselves, we unlock the potential to live a richer, more meaningful life. Every choice as an investment emphasizes the importance of living intentionally. When we're mindful of our decisions, we act from a place of clarity and purpose, rather than passively reacting to circumstances. Intentional choices align with our core values and goals, giving us a sense of direction and fulfillment. They enable us to look back on our lives with the satisfaction of knowing that we lived with purpose, crafting a life that genuinely reflects who we are. This is the power of understanding each choice as an investment. It guides us toward a life of fulfillment, built not by chance, but by the accumulation of wise, thoughtful decisions. Every choice we make has an impact, whether immediate or delayed. By approaching each decision as an investment, we invite greater awareness and responsibility into our lives, making it possible to create a future that we desire. We cultivate our time, energy, and resources carefully, mindful that each choice contributes to our present and future self. While we cannot control every outcome, we can choose to act with purpose and integrity, knowing that each choice moves us closer to the person we aspire to become. In treating life as a series of investments, we transform our actions from mere reactions into conscious steps toward a meaningful, empowered existence. In the journey of life, recognizing that every choice we make is an investment allows us to live with intention and purpose. Each decision, no matter how small, contributes to the life we're building, shaping our relationships, health, career, finances, and personal growth. By treating our choices with care, we align our actions with our values and long-term vision, creating a fulfilling life crafted through conscious effort and commitment. When we invest thoughtfully in our present, we pave the way to a future that truly reflects who we are and what we aspire to be. Life becomes a mosaic of deliberate choices, each one adding depth and color to the bigger picture of who we are becoming. So let us approach our choices with awareness, investing in our dreams and values with every step. Thank you for being here and for taking the time to reflect on the power of choice in your life. In the grand theater of life, every soul is both the author and the actor. Yet, how often do we play the role of a victim, relinquishing our creative power to the seeming forces of the world? I tell you now, you are not a victim of circumstances, misfortunes, or failures. You are a victor, the master of your destiny, and the architect of your reality. To be a victor is to know that your life is not shaped by chance, but by choice. The world you see, with all its challenges and blessings, is a reflection of the thoughts and feelings you carry within. When you imagine yourself as a conqueror, as one who overcomes, the universe rearranges itself to mirror that image. The imagination is the greatest gift bestowed upon humanity, the unseen force through which we shape our reality. Most people view imagination as mere fantasy, a whimsical escape from the tangible world. But in truth, it is the seed from which all creation blossoms. Everything you experience, every joy, challenge, success, or failure can be traced back to the images and emotions you have entertained in the mind. To understand this principle is to unlock the key to transforming your life. When you close your eyes and imagine, you are not engaging in idle daydreaming. You are actively creating. The world around you may seem rigid, unchangeable, governed by external forces. But this is an illusion. The real power lies within, in the visions you hold and the feelings you cultivate. Every building, every invention, every piece of art, and every great achievement began as a formless idea, nurtured by the imagination of an individual who dared to believe in its reality. You may wonder how something as intangible as imagination can influence the material world. The answer lies in the connection between thought and experience. Your thoughts generate feelings, and your feelings shape your actions. These actions, in turn, dictate the life you live. If you imagine yourself as successful, capable, and abundant, you align your emotions and behaviors with these qualities. On the other hand, if you dwell on fear, lack, or failure, your actions and experiences will reflect those states. Imagination does not require the approval of the senses. What you see, hear, touch, or experience in the physical world does not limit what you can imagine. In fact, the most profound changes occur when you dare to imagine something entirely contrary to your current circumstances. Consider the person who is financially struggling yet imagines themselves living in abundance. To the outside world, this might seem foolish or delusional. But if they persist in their vision, something remarkable happens. Their inner state begins to shift. They feel a sense of wealth and gratitude, even before it manifests outwardly. This shift in feeling is the magnet that draws new opportunities, people, and circumstances that align with their imagined reality. It is important to note that imagination operates continuously, whether you are conscious of it or not. Most people allow their imagination to run unchecked, replaying scenes of worry, regret, or fear. They unknowingly create lives filled with the very things they wish to avoid. This is why becoming aware of your imagination and directing it purposefully is so vital. You must guard your thoughts as a gardener guards their crops, pulling out the weeds of doubt and negativity and planting seeds of hope, faith, and love. The key to effective use of imagination lies in embodying the feeling of your desired outcome. It is not enough to think about success or happiness, you must feel it as though it is already yours. When you close your eyes and imagine, allow yourself to fully immerse in the experience. See the details, hear the sounds, and feel the emotions. For example, if you desire a new home, imagine walking through it. Feel the texture of the walls, smell the fresh paint, hear the sound of your footsteps echoing in the halls. This vivid, emotional connection to your vision is what activates the creative process. Doubt often creeps in when we imagine something that feels too far removed from our current reality. But doubt is a learned response, a product of conditioning and past disappointments. It has no power unless you give it power. When doubt arises, remember that the imagination does not operate within the constraints of logic or reason. Its domain is limitless and its power is infinite. Trust that what you vividly imagine and deeply believe is already on its way to becoming your reality. Many will say, I have tried imagining, but nothing changed. This reveals a fundamental misunderstanding of the process. Imagination is not about wishful thinking or fleeting moments of visualization. It requires persistence and faith. Just as a seed planted in the soil needs time, water, and sunlight to grow, your imagined vision requires consistency and nurturing. You must return to it daily, reaffirming your belief in its reality, even when no visible evidence exists. The most beautiful aspect of imagination is that it frees you from the confines of the past. No matter what has happened before, you have the power to create something entirely new. You are not bound by your mistakes, failures, or circumstances. Each moment offers a fresh canvas upon which you can paint the life you desire. The only limitation is the scope of your vision. Imagination is not an escape from reality, it is the foundation of reality. To live without harnessing its power is to drift aimlessly, subject to the whims of chance. But to live with intentional imagination is to step into the role of creator, shaping your world with purpose and precision. As you awaken to this truth, you will realize that your life is not something that happens to you, it is something you create. So close your eyes, dream boldly, and dare to imagine a reality that reflects the greatness within you. For what you imagine today will become the life you live tomorrow. In life, we often find ourselves surrounded by circumstances that seem insurmountable, as though they hold the ultimate power to dictate who we are and what we can achieve. But this is a false narrative, one that many accept without question. The truth is, circumstances do not define you, they merely reflect your inner state. You are far greater than the sum of your experiences, and within you lies the power to rise above any situation, no matter how daunting it may seem. Circumstances are like the surface of a lake, ever changing, influenced by external forces such as wind, rain, or sunlight. Yet beneath the surface lies a depth that remains untouched by these fleeting conditions. That depth is your true self, the essence of who you are beyond appearances. To believe that your identity is tied to the surface is to live in a state of limitation, constantly reacting to what happens around you. But when you recognize that you are the stillness beneath the waves, you free yourself from the grip of circumstance. Many people allow their current conditions to dictate their thoughts, feelings, and ultimately their actions. They say, I can't be happy because of this, or I'll never succeed because of that. In doing so, they hand over their creative power to the external world, becoming prisoners of their environment. However, the key to freedom lies in understanding that circumstances are not fixed, they are malleable. They are the product of past thoughts, beliefs, and choices. Change those inner factors, and the outer conditions must follow suit. This does not mean ignoring reality or pretending challenges don't exist. Instead, it is about refusing to let those challenges define your sense of self. For example, a person who loses their job might be tempted to think, I am a failure. But the job loss is merely an event, it does not diminish their inherent worth or potential. By shifting their perspective and seeing the situation as an opportunity for growth or redirection, they reclaim their power. The event remains the same, but its meaning changes, and with it, the path forward. Your ability to rise above circumstances begins with awareness. Recognize when you are identifying too closely with a situation, when you are letting it dictate how you see yourself. Pause and remind yourself that no condition is permanent. The most challenging moments in life often carry within them the seeds of transformation. What feels like an obstacle today may, in hindsight, be the very thing that propelled you to greater heights. Consider the stories of those who have overcome great adversity. These individuals often faced circumstances far more difficult than most of us can imagine: poverty, illness, loss, or failure. Yet they refused to let those circumstances define them. Instead, they used them as stepping stones to create something extraordinary. What separates these individuals is not their circumstances, but their response to them. They chose to see themselves as more than their situation, and in doing so, they transcended it. The power of choice cannot be overstated. No matter what is happening around you, you always have the power to choose your thoughts and attitudes. This choice may feel small, even insignificant, in the face of overwhelming circumstances, but it is the foundation of true freedom. When you choose to see yourself as capable, resilient, and worthy regardless of external conditions, you set a new course for your life. Your circumstances may not change overnight, but as you persist in this inner shift, the outer world will begin to reflect it. It is also essential to understand that circumstances are not punishments or rewards, they are neutral. They gain meaning only through the interpretations you give them. If you see a setback as a failure, it becomes a weight that holds you down. But if you see it as a lesson or an opportunity, it becomes a tool for growth. This perspective is entirely within your control, and it is what allows you to rise above any situation. Faith plays a crucial role in transcending circumstances. Faith is the assurance that your current situation does not define your ultimate reality. It is the conviction that, regardless of appearances, you have the power to create a new experience. This faith is not blind optimism, but a deep knowing that the creative force within you is greater than any external condition. As you cultivate this mindset, you will find that circumstances lose their grip on you. They may still arise, as challenges are a natural part of life, but they no longer have the power to dictate your identity or your destiny. You will begin to see yourself not as a victim of your environment, but as the creator of your experience. And in that realization, you will discover true freedom. You are not defined by what happens to you, but by how you choose to respond. Circumstances may shape your path temporarily, but they do not determine who you are or what you can achieve. You are far greater than any situation you face, and the power to rise above lies within you. Stand firm in this truth, and watch as the world begins to reflect the strength, resilience, and greatness that you carry. To assume the feeling of victory is to embody the very essence of success, even before it becomes visible in your external world. It is an act of aligning yourself with the energy and mindset of a person who has already triumphed. This principle is not a mere intellectual exercise, it is the practice of living and thinking as though the victory you desire has already been realized. To fully understand this concept, we must first recognize that our outer reality is a reflection of our inner state. The feelings we carry and the assumptions we make about ourselves shape the events that unfold in our lives. Imagine a champion standing on the podium, their arms raised in celebration, basking in the glow of their victory. The joy, the sense of accomplishment, the pride, they are not just thoughts but feelings that they carry in their being. What if, instead of waiting for the moment of victory to arrive, you could step into that feeling right now? By doing so, you would begin to attract the circumstances that match this feeling, because the world around us is shaped by what we believe and feel. The feeling of victory is the magnetic force that draws success into your life, and the more you can saturate yourself in this feeling, the quicker it will manifest. The power of assuming the feeling of victory lies in its ability to influence not only your thoughts but your actions. When you feel victorious, you act with confidence, resilience, and determination. You make decisions from a place of strength rather than fear. You move forward with conviction, knowing that success is inevitable. This feeling of certainty becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Your actions reflect your belief that you are already victorious, and the results will follow suit. But how do you step into this feeling when your current circumstances may suggest otherwise. The key is to understand that the world around you is an illusion, constantly shifting and reflecting your inner beliefs. Your current situation, no matter how challenging, is only temporary. It is a reflection of past thoughts and emotions, not an indicator of your true potential. Therefore, to change your reality, you must first change the way you feel about yourself.